please introduce yourself?
First of all, I am from Pakistan, the province of Pakistan, Punjab. My name is Gulnaz Aslam. I run my YouTube channel, Gul Knowledge Hub, where over there are above than 24,000 subscribers. As I talk about my qualification, I have done my master's in English as well as in history. In history, I have been declared the gold medalist by the University of Sargodha. Apart from that,
Wow.
I have been the topper scholarship holder from first year to master's classes. And 2010 was the most memorable period or the most memorable year of my life because at that time I won competition, essay writing competition at divisional level, and I secured second position. I was awarded with 40,000 and a certificate by the government of Punjab at that time. Then I was promoted to the provincial level, and again I was declared the topper of essay writing competition. I was awarded with 75,000, a certificate, and a 2 days stay at Carlton Tower Hotel. And I was offered a historical visit to the whole historical buildings. That was the most memorable period. And if I talk about my practical career, I after education completing my qualification, I started coaching master's classes in language and linguistics for 3.5 years.
Okay.
And after that, I got married, I shifted here, and I started giving coaching. And I have been the head of department at Behria Foundation College in History and English. And nowadays, I am preoccupied with 4 kids. I have 3 sons and a daughter. My son is also a debater and speaker. My daughter is also a debater and speaker. And now I use only YouTube channel to promote education. That's all about me.
Wow, great, great, and good to know about you. I must say you have endowed with this much, qualification, degrees and the diplomas and rewards. Yeah, I really want to congratulate you. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, please don't call me ma'am. Call me Nootan.
No. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Nathan, I would like to ask you the very first question, which is often faced by many English learners, and that question is that many English learners they frame and structure sentences, though they are grammatically right, but they have no sense, they have no context. So,
Yeah.
how should we eradicate this phenomena? That their grammatical sentences should not only be grammatically true, they should convey some sense, some meanings. Because the whole essence of our communication is to communicate our ideas, information, and knowledge. But if we can't do that, what is the usage of all those grammatical structures? So, give your light on this question, please.
Yeah, you mean to say people have some problems while forming and framing sentences. This is what you want to talk about and ask? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please, Nutan, call me Nutan. Yeah. So
Okay.
I would say, it's a very normal problem, I can say. So many people are facing and they are struggling with such problems where they are facing such kind of problems that it makes them feeling really harder to frame the sentences, to form the sentences, specifically, if I tell you. And I'm also one of them, you can say. I used to be one of them. I used to feel really kind of, problematic when it comes to make the sentences, long, long sentences, complex sentences. So I used to feel like, how can I make the sentence? And I think two times I have asked. Earlier, I asked about this problem to somebody, and she didn't, really, clarify this. She might be knowing, but I don't know what was the reason she didn't clarify me this. But we can just conquer over such kind of problem. It's not a really big deal. It is we have made this much, kind of pressure or baggage. The main thing is that speak a lot. The more you can engross yourself with the language, this is going to help you a lot. And for this, speak like at least 2 hours. To me, at least 2 hours. I used to speak 3 hours earlier when I again bounced back, meaning 1 year ago. So I used to speak 2 hours. And talking about 8 months ago, so I used to talk with people, so many people. And if I tell you about time spanning, so it was 3 hours on a stretch. Like I used to speak with 7 to 10, 10 to 12 people, and that has magnified my confidence, and you can say little fluency as well. But I don't really believe in fluency. I think that if you speak really clearly, accurately, so that makes a sense. So yeah, again, I'm coming to your point that facing problems when it comes to frame the sentence, it happens. If you speak a lot, like 1 hour, 2 hour, you are speaking, and you are indulging with the language again and again, you are speaking. Okay, if you have a partner, this means you are fortunate enough. If you don't have any partner, speaking partner, I'm talking about. So just do the self talk, talk with yourself, record your voice, as we all have a smartphone nowadays, so it's quite accessible for us to do such kind of practicing. And so many people, they make lame excuses that we just can't do so. So I think that's their problem. They have made it this much, biggest kind of problem or hurdle. I don't think it's a kind of hurdle. If you speak a lot of time, you're speaking, you're this much speaking that you feel sometimes you hear pressure, muscle, it's a kind of muscle exercise, mouth muscle exercise, and if you are speaking a lot of time, so it's a kind of pressure here. And I'm talking about myself, the kind of experience I'm sharing with you. So I used to feel like, here pain, like what is happening here, because I used to speak this much that feel like, I used to feel like that time that my voice has become hoarse. And yes, I had some sore throat as well, sore throat, sorry, yeah. So the thing is, speak a lot. This is the only remedy here. Speak a lot so that you can become this much accustomed with the language. You don't feel like, hesitating, any kind of inhibition. You will not feel like at the same time. If you speak much, if you're not speaking, so I think there is something fishy, as you're not making this much efforts. So this could also be possible. So all depends on you, and it's your choice, and the ball is in your court, what you have to do or not. Are you really serious or not? So that's all depend on you.
Really fantastic and amazing answer is this. And one more point I would like to add here is that we as non-native speakers, they most of our educational career, we have spent our life by grasping the grammatical rules. We are
Exactly.
totally preoccupied, rather obsessed with these grammatical rules and regulations that we just forcefully join the two words or three words or sentence together. We do not even have this feeling that this sentence or this word is actually correct in this context or not. So I think personally, I think that reading, if we have a lot of reading, then we will actually come to know that this word, this phrase, or this sentence structure, this pattern is actually correct here. So
Yeah.
if we develop this habit of reading, many of our problems are automatically cured.
Yeah, exactly true. That agree. I agree, and I can say
Yes.
that really helped me, reading. But nowadays, I'm quite erratic in that I'm not regular to read the things, as I have I can say, the hobby of reading. But even though I just don't, take out time for this, as I'm totally swamped with my own work. And as I mentioned you that I have just started working, so I don't get extra time, spare time to do reading. But reading really helps. There was a time I used to read this much, one day, one story finished, like this way I used to read. And there I came to know a lot of words as well. Thank you. A lot of words as well, and the kind of structures I came to know. Okay, this is the grammatical structure, let's say. Talking about conditionals, sometimes we find it really difficult, harder to understand and frame the sentences as well, in our day-to-day lives when it comes to have the conversation. So we feel like, but like first of all, we just translate. If it comes to talk on, conditionals, specifically third conditional, had plus verbs third form, and then would
Third
have
form and
plus
would.
third form, like this way, this,
Yes.
if this had happened, then what would have happened, or what would have been happening, like this way. So sometimes we find it really difficult to make the sentence. And first of all, we just here, we are churning that time. When it comes to speak out, we are churning here. There's a kind of churning happening, because we are thinking, we are contemplating. So yes, it sometimes it's little harder. How can you get a very good flow over this, a kind of hold, I can say, just by doing the practicing again and again and reading. By reading, you will come to know that okay, this is the grammatical patterns, you'll come to know. And once you are reading the whole paragraph, and you are understanding the whole concept of that particular story or anything article you are reading out loud. So by reading again and again and out loud, you'll come to know two three things, like the grammatical patterns, new words. And when you are speaking it out loud, so third benefit is you are becoming this much accustomed with the language. So it's a kind of, you don't have to go for tongue twister there. I never ever done that tongue twister. I don't really believe in that in my case. So I have done this. To be very honest, I have read the things out loud earlier when I used to read so many times. So that has helped me a lot. That has intensified my, you can say, my words power. I used to read this much. I used to read dictionary as well a couple of years ago. Like I can say 10, 12 years ago that I used to do earlier.
Totally agree with this point, because when you are reading it loud, you become the speaker as well as you become the listener. You are the judge of
Exactly.
your own self. So you are
Yeah.
absorbing, you are consuming, and you are giving your output simultaneously. That's great. Now the
Yeah, true
next
that.
question, and
Hmm.
next question is that many of English learners, or most of the English learners, they speak English language, no doubt. They are speaking English language, they are correctly using each and everything. Their sentence, their patterns, their ideas, their information is even correct. But
Hmm.
the question is that why they can't impress others? Because they don't have such kind of impression. Why this problem is occurring with most of English learners? Because if we just say that there are two speakers in front of us,
Exactly.
there are two speakers. They are speaking
Hmm.
on the same topic, like global warming. They are talking about
Okay.
global
Hmm.
warming, like facts and all the things regarding global warming. Now, most of the audience, they are at one side that this speaker is excellent and he is speaking marvelously, and that speaker has spoken those things, but he is not quite efficient. So how
Happens.
we can have this habit of to impress and rather to have expression?
Yeah, a really nice point, I can say. You just picked up. The thing is, the way you speak, the way you put across your thoughts, be it English, be it any languages. So that really makes a big difference here, and that plays a very pivotal part here. Once you are talking with anyone, so the way you speaking, the way you are conducting yourself, meaning your whole personality. It's not about just speaking, just putting across your thoughts in the form of words. You're not just vocalizing at the same time. I think when we speak, so it's not about we are using just our mouth and then we are speaking words. It's about the whole gesture. Like we are using our physical appearance as well. We are using our hands, and on top of this I can say we are using our face as well. When we are speaking, so there must be an good eye contact. And other thing is the kind of smiling face we must be wearing, and it should not be fake. It should not be fake, it should be real, authentic. Okay, and the words, see, I think when we speak, be it English, be it any languages, so I think it should be exuding kind of, kind of what can I say, the kind of I'm not just getting that word. The in Hindi we say, okay, you understand Hindi?
Yes.
Yeah. So when we speak, so there should be a kind of rhythm, ras. In Hindi we say ras, you know, and in English I can say, okay, rhythm. So there's
Inflection,
there's a
rhythm.
rhythm. Yeah, there's a
Yes.
rhythm. Okay, once you have that kind of rhythm, and by using your whole personality, meaning your face expressions, your smiling face, and you're not fearing, you're this much confident that you can just influence the people, and they can get swayed by listening you, by seeing you, the audience I'm talking about. So yes, that makes a sense, and that makes a big difference, a kind of distinguishment between two people, I can say, as you gave an example. So on basis of that, I'm saying if there are two people and one person is speaking really nice, and he's using his whole physical appearance, and there's this big smile, it should not be over, it should not be over. The kind of words we are using, and the kind of flow, naturally, the language is coming out into words naturally, it's not a kind of bullet train you have to speak. That's I think it's of no use. If you are speaking like a bullet train, it's really futile. If people are not understanding you in the same way, in the same context, and you are speaking like this much, like a bullet train, and you're not letting other people speak. And the thing is, when we speak, so we should be taking little pause as well. It's not about just speaking a lot of time. No, that doesn't make any sense, I can say. So yeah, when you're speaking, so there should be a kind of rhythm, music.
Yes. Really fantastic answer is this. I would like to add a few points according to my observation. The point I would like to answer here is that when we are engaged in a conversation, for example, we are here to give a happy moment. We are describing our emotions regarding a very jubilant or happy moment, and we are just staring. This was the most memorable period. I found
Yeah.
much happiness. I was receiving the monotonous of face. There is no facial expression. And if we are
Mhm.
describing the sad or the gloomy situation, we should say in a monotonous style. Then we should wear the smile when we have this happy feeling. When we are sad, we should demonstrate through our mouth or facial expression that there is some sense of sadness. Some person
Mhm.
is describing about the sad or gloomy incident. Second thing is that to arouse the curiosity in the audience, we can really capture the attention of audience. For example, by storytelling method. As we
Exactly.
enter or as we start interacting with the audience, we should start with a story or
Yeah.
a small humor,
Mhm.
a little humor, in order to feel lightness and have some feeling of warmness towards the audience. So
Exactly.
storytelling, asking us small question, a easy one question from the audience,
Mhm.
and a little bit humor. These things, and most important, as you have mentioned, the body language, your facial expressions, your rhythm, and your intonation counts a lot because English
Exactly.
language is basically a musical language. Every language has its own music. This is called the intonation. This can be called the rhythm. So if we are in the monotonous style, the same, because every language feels like
Yeah,
heartbeat,
waves.
slow, rise and fall, rise and fall, and rise and fall. That's
Mhm.
and if we are following the same track, and if we inculcate these kind of aspects in our conversation would be lively. It would be full of life.
Yeah, agree. I totally concur with this. One point I would like to add here, on the
Yes,
same
please.
topic. The thing is, it's about sometimes it's about the humility as well. If you are inside this much, you are having the humility, an aspect of humility. If you have, so it will automatically come up on the tone, whatever you are saying. So it should not be rude, or you should not be appearing rude. That you are trying to impose the things on the people, or on the audience. No, and there should be a way to speak out your things, the whatever you have here inside, and the way you are speaking the same thing. So there should be a kind of the flow with the emotion of humility. If you have the humility, and you should be appearing really confident. The thing should not be appearing like somewhere you are underconfident, somewhere you have some inhibition. Once you have the inhibition, once you have a kind of aspect of hesitations, so it is going to show up from your personality, and it will be exuding. Literally it will be exuding, and people can this they just guess it. They can just sense this, that okay, you are fearing, you are hesitating, so they are not going to take interest in that. And they will not take the interest by seeing you, and it's of no use to do so. I think the best part is this: try to embrace this facet of confidence level. Just embrace this. And how can you do so? Practice, practice,
Our
practice,
practice.
practice. Just by doing practicing is, it's all about speaking. I would not say do the practicing of reading, do the practicing of writing. I would say I would also always I would be taking the favor of just doing the practicing of speaking. Speak a lot. The more you can
because
speak, the
I
better
have
you can become.
because I have noticeably changed the difference of your spoken style and the pace which you are delivering right from the very beginning and
Yeah.
to at this stage there is a vast difference between your spoken style, your each and everything. Your power of communication has been increased. I am noticing and
Yeah.
I am observing that
Thank
fact.
you. And thank you. And yes, so many people they have said this, and thank you for this appreciation. And they somewhere they are like admiring the things that I am doing. I am not really having so much, I can say expectations, be it about views and the followers, something like this. I am totally contented personality. I'm like whatever I'm doing, I'm happy with this. So anyhow, I just can take out time to do the practicing, to talk with the people like this way. So that's a big deal for me, and I'm really like proud of this. Like at least I'm doing something. I'm not sitting idle. I'm doing something, and it's showing up as well.
That's really amazing because being a housewife, managing the household chore, there are many things to do when you have your own kids. But
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
are managing and if you are doing some extra thing or if you are doing some extra work or task, that's really deals a big thing. And
Yeah,
it requires your dedication, it requires your devotion, and it requires a constant urge inside you that motivates
exactly.
you to do something.
Yeah, exactly. And you need to become really adamant in that. If you want to learn English, not learn English, I would say, if you want to have a very good command with the confidence level and, the whole overall personality, kind of versatile personality. So for this, you need to I can say, dedicate with this language. You need to do some kind of efforts in the form of doing practicing and showcase that tenacity. Meaning, you need to become really adamant, like I am to do it anyhow. I am to do it anyhow. Like these kind of mentality, you need to just inculcate in your mind.
Yes, consistency beats
Yeah,
intensity.
exactly. True that.
Now we should discuss another point, very amazing point is that how to talk about on random topics.
Oh, great. You won't believe. May I start?
Yes.
Yeah, so you won't believe, 6, 7 months ago when I started this journey to converse with people, earlier I had big fear, and I was not really courageous enough talking about 1 year ago, 2 years ago. So I was not really this much, courageous enough to deal with the people, specifically male. Now I can talk with anyone, and really confidently I can talk, really comfortably I can talk with them. I have talked, I think, more than 500 people so far within 7 months. So
Very
that time,
amazing.
thank you. So 7 months ago, when I,
You have
initiated
already
this journey.
answered the question which I was about to ask you with how many people have you connected up till now? You have already answered this.
Okay, okay. So, when I just embarked this journey to converse with people 7 months ago. So that time I used to speak with only ladies because I had fear to, interact with people, meaning gents. So what happened when I had been talking with the ladies, so they used to speak like, okay, let's talk on topic, let's talk on topic. I was like, literally, I had goosebumps and the fear, and I used to just filled with that time, so much inhibitions, hesitation. Like, how would I just can't do so. I just can't do so. But no, I'm not like praising myself that I'm kind of big personality and I have done this thing, that thing. I'm not boasting, but the thing that has happened with me and that I have done so far, that I'm sharing. So the thing is now, to be very honest, if I am not really aware of that particular topic, let's say you use one word, that's kind of topic, global warming, so I can't just say a lot of things on that. But talking about, let's say, we have so many emotions, we have so many emotions, we have so many traits, and talking about women empowerment, talking about like population, pollution, so many things, so I can talk. But AI as well, technology, I have talked. So some on some specific topics, I need to prepare, and apart from this, I don't need to be prepared. I can do this impromptu without preparation. Meaning, I have become this much confident and comfortable. Like, whatever comes up here in my mind, whatever is occurring, I just start speaking. I take little pause to ponder over that time. and then I start speaking. Because it really makes a big difference. Okay, let me tell you, there's the word hypocrisy, and we can talk also about hypocrite people. So what can we say? Up to 50 minutes on a stretch, what can we say? So that makes it sense, first of all. And yes, it's a big deal to speak with the people, out of nowhere and out of turn we are speaking on particular word. So I think that's also a
Yes.
big challenge. It's a big challenge without preparation. Because this happened with me. There's a, like, one of my, I can say, nephew, meaning my husband's sister's son. Okay. So I
Yes.
just asked Beta, okay, can you tell me something on the value of money? I have talked this on this particular topic as well. So like literally he said only two sentences. Finished. Yeah. So then I thought, meaning I am doing great job. I'm doing, because being a homemaker, and it has been years since I left my studies, even though I can speak on the topic, such kind of topic that's really trivial for me, I can talk on those topics. It's a very, you can say it's just a cakewalk for me. So that time I realized that I'm doing a great job, like uh, I can say after having left the study, now I can do so. So that's a big deal for me. So yeah, talking in topics, so it's not a very big thing. It is you have made it really, kind of hurdle type thing. So the thing is, whatever comes up here in your mind, then you can speak. Or else if you find it really difficult, then do the little study, browse the things. This is it, I can say.
Yes. And we can say that if we don't have any clue on the topic which is going on there, we can use the mirroring technique over there.
Yeah.
By mirroring technique, I can say that if the person is saying you that I went on a vacation, and you are now clueless about what to say next, you should say, oh, you went for vacation. Now he would explain to what place or to where place or to what place he has went and what kind of enjoyment he has enjoyed. Now you got the same answer. For how many days you stayed there? He would explain 3 or 4 places. You should ask
Mm-hmm.
about what was the most favorite aspect which inspired you a lot about that place. What kind of activities you have done about that place. Now these kind of things you are extracting. You are not conveying your own opinions, rather you are extracting opinions from the others. So I think that this is an excellent thing. If you don't have anything to talk about, just ask questions and then have the repetition of those answers, because people love to talk about their opinions, people love to talk about their hobbies, people love to talk about their personalities and likes and dislikes and all these
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, absolutely right, and I totally agree. But you know what happens sometimes? Sometimes we are really clueless, and words failing us sometimes. As when it comes to talk on any specific topic, and we are not really familiar with the topic, so this happens. So talking about doing the conversation and how can we take the conversation ahead. So it's a very nice way to asking the questions and then answering, then again asking and answering. So it's really nice way. But if you are if you are bound to speak, or you are supposed to speak on any specific topic, so you need to be prepared first of all. Or else what you can do, if you are given a topic impromptu, it's kind of extempore, so then little pause at the same moment and then think over and then say the things. But you should not go through like rush through your words. Like if you are rushing through your words, so you are going to end up making a lot of mistakes. So instead take some pauses. It's nice to take pauses. Instead of using filler words, we can take pauses. It's much better, I can say.
Yes, filler words just spoil the conversation. If you are not using the filler words and take some basic and necessary pauses, because if pause goes to a long extent, then it is noticed by the observer.
Exactly. True that.
So it went well. Our conversation was really fantastic and amazing. I have enjoyed a lot in your company.
Yeah,
So I am
likewise.
looking
I
forward to
yeah, I
have another
also.
session with you, Nootan.
Yeah, of course, of course. We will connect some other day for another conversation. It was really nice, engaging, and enthralling conversation with you. And thank you. You gave me your precious time. Thank you.
Thank you